Today, at this very event, men and women from all walks of life have converged in this room to discuss the wide range of issues that our nation faces. In this institution of higher learning, we have all gathered to contribute to the political discourse on how to take our society down a better path. And yet, there is something missing here. Amongst the cacophony of voices shouting opinions and touting facts, there is a voice that has been lost in the fray. That drowned out voice is the voice of the innocent unborn child. According to the Alan Guttmacher Institute, a research affiliate with Planned Parenthood, approximately 1.3 million voices are lost every year to the abomination that is abortion. Since 1973, the Center for Disease Control estimates that more than 40 million American lives have been lost due to abortion. This figure is more than the estimate of every casualty in a global conflict since the start of the Vietnam War in 1959 to the present day. My colleagues and I call these horrifying numbers a hidden genocide at home. My misguided friend standing at the other podium calls it a woman's right to choose. It is seldom in the history of modern society that human rights, religion, and medical science will all converge to form a singularity of opinion on one given issue. As early as the 1850s, doctors have stood by the fact that life begins at conception. It is common knowledge in the field of science that the moment the sperm fertilizes the egg, a new life emerges. This new life, completely separate from the mother, instantly develops its own strand of DNA and has a completely different genetic makeup from that of the mother. Given this fact, it becomes a matter of legal rights. Just as we learn that our freedom of speech does not give us the right to scream fire in a crowded theater, it is not within the legal realm of the mother to choose to kill an individual entity growing inside her womb. Interestingly enough, many states inadvertently recognize that the presence inside a woman's womb is indeed a separate life. Not too long ago, in the state of California, Scott Peterson was charged with a double homicide for killing his wife, Lacey Peterson, and the unborn child that she was carrying. Religiously, the word that Mother Teresa gave in a Nobel Peace Prize acceptance speech outlined the case against abortion best. I feel that the greatest destroyer to peace today is abortion, because it is war against the child, a direct killing of the innocent child, murdered by the mother herself. And if we accept that a mother can kill even her own child, how can we tell people not to kill one another? Given all this, we contemplate the failure of liberals to defend America's lost citizen. This very issue violates the principle that once made political liberalism and the Democratic Party great. The basic commitment to protect the most vulnerable members of the human society. If you walk out of this event with anything else in mind, ask yourself as you walk out those doors tonight, how has it come to this? How has this become the accepted norm? Thank you very much.
And your name is Destiny.
Hi, I'm Destiny.
You're studying?
Oh, I'm a graduate student studying women's studies.
Okay. You have approximately 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. Well, Jay obviously knows me very well. My argument is that this is a woman's right to choose. No arguing there. Throughout history, the fight over rights to women's bodies has been a constant. But in 1973, our Supreme Court gave women control of their own personal medical decisions and protection against intrusive government regulations. They realized that reproductive and other medical decisions should be left up to a woman. The decision has been made. Society decided then, and still decides now, to abandon those antiquated practices of government control of women's bodies. So now the conversation needs to move to comprehensive sex education in order to curb the number of unwanted pregnancies. No one here in this room is pro-abortion. No one likes unwanted pregnancies. They should be avoided whenever possible. I think we can all agree with that for multiple reasons. Not because abortion is morally wrong or reprehensible, but because an unwanted pregnancy is emotionally and physically strenuous and stressful for a woman and society. People have sex. Teenagers have sex. Single people have sex. We all have sex. Having sex sometimes leads to pregnancy, but not everyone who has sex wants a baby. So because the majority of people have sex, it seems to me that educating the masses on how to stay STD and baby-free is the smartest and most effective way to curb unwanted pregnancies. However, in cases where birth control methods have failed and our education has failed, or when we've failed to educate, abortion needs to still be an option in the case of an unwanted pregnancy. If abortion is not an option, women lose control of their bodies, and one group's beliefs of morality dictate the lives of over half the population. In addition, abortions don't stop. Women die from back alley abortions, and when they don't die, they're criminalized for making personal medical decisions about their own bodies. Repealing Roe v. Wade and banning abortions would step back not only women, but society as a whole.
Very well done. This is going to be a hot subject. We're going to interact religion as well as moral issues in these questions that I ask. So please, if anyone is offended, I apologize ahead of time, but I will ask plenty of questions. First question coming up. Sir, who gives the right to anyone to dictate to another human being what they are to do with their body? Republican.
The Constitution does. Let me tell you how this works. I'll quote a doctor that's very renowned. Dr. Albert Liley, the renowned physiologist known as the father of pathology, has stated, "Biologically, at no stage of development can we subscribe to the view that the unborn child is a mere appendage of the mother. Genetically, the mother and the baby are separate individuals from conception." So if you want to argue the point that this is a woman's right to choose to do with whatever she wants to do with her body, fine. But the creature, or whatever you want to call it, the entity, the human being growing inside of her womb is not a part of her. It is genetically distinct. It is completely separate in terms of DNA, and it is a separate individual capable of growing in and outside of the womb. For example, we talk about in vitro fertilization. They can take out the single cell that's forming and growing and duplicating inside a woman's womb, put it into a lab tank, and that cell will continue to grow as normal by itself, thus proving scientifically that the life that's growing inside a woman's womb is not just a mere extension of herself, but it is a scientific separate entity from that of the woman. Now, I use this example a lot when I say that if NASA scientists tomorrow found a single-cell bacteria on the planet Mars, every paper in the world would read "life found on Mars." And yet, when that single-cell organism is found in the womb of a woman, then it no longer conveniently becomes life. Abortion is about one thing. It's about the convenience of being able to abort a child after not practicing safe sex. Ultimately, it comes down to responsibility. Less than 1% of all abortion cases are due to rape, incest, and to the endangerment of the mother's life. Meaning that 99% of all abortion cases are simply a morning after pill. It's a way of getting rid of the leftovers of sex that they should probably have had in the first place.
Says who?
This says me. This is not about the person taking irresponsible measures. This is about murder. This is quite frankly what it is. It comes down to a woman aborting a living being, a living child within her womb, and getting rid of it for convenience sakes. And that is not moral under any standards.